Hello, everybody. Today you're listening to Anchors and Eagles with myself, Adam Facenda, my friend Jeronimo Gomez, and our special guest, Jamie Bissonnette. Hi, Jamie Bissonnette. How are you guys doing this evening?
I can't keep up this.
You can't keep up with it, right? It's just so annoying. It's so annoying. He does it to me every now and then, and I try to keep up with it, and I'm like, all right, that's enough. That's enough.
Delta, Foxtrot, Delta, 2-1. Delta, Foxtrot, Delta, 2-1.
In a world where truth lies between shadows and light, where anchors hold you down and eagles dare to rise above, we dive into the untold stories that shape us all. Sit tight, listen close. This is Anchors and Eagles with your hosts, Adam Facenda and Jeronimo Gomez. The views and discussions in this podcast are for entertainment purposes only.
Yeah. Jamie. No, not you. It's been a minute since I saw you.
Yeah, man, a couple years.
Since then, you seem to have taken over the world with this new restaurant. I don't want to talk too much about food, but I really want to talk about this Temple Records.
Sure.
Where did you come up with this? Is this something you wanted to do, or it's like thing you always wanted to do?
Kind of. Temple Records is part of 3 restaurants that are on one property. So they've got 2 different entrances. Somek being like a very hamshik, like traditional Korean restaurant, and then Temple Records being kind of more like record bar with an identity of some Korean anju drinking snacks and some Japanese like izakaya snacks. And then in the basement of Temple Records, it's not a speakeasy because it's got a sign, but people keep calling it that. We have a sushi bar called Sushi at Temple Records, which is a very classic Erome style, no fusion sushi bar. All 3 of these come from pretty much one major inspiration, which was a trip that my wife and I took as our honeymoon. We spent a month in Korea and a couple of weeks in Japan. And obviously, my wife's Korean. I've been cooking Korean food with Oma for a long time, my mother-in-law. That was easy, like an easy decision. I wanted to cook home style Korean food. But Temple Records was, where do I put the 10,000 records that are clogging up my apartment and move all the equipment and gear that I've been collecting for this banging ass stereo system that's way too big and loud for my house. So we decided like that, record bars are something that I've always loved, and the ones in Asia and like specifically Korea, Japan are so diverse. So it was an amalgam of all of those into one space. That's the long answer.
That's awesome. I love that. Now that we're done talking about stupid business stuff, how did you meet Jeronimo? Because he was just gonna let that out. How did you meet Jeronimo?
Dude,
how do you think you met Jeronimo?
I met Jeronimo from Clap.
I think
I met you. I remember the first night I met you. I think it was at when you lived with Damien, and it was at his house. And I remember the night. I don't know who I was with. I could have been with Clap. I don't know. I didn't even know you, and the next thing I know, you're putting your penis on my shoulder.
Yeah, he said
I don't know if you remember that
on his shoulder. I guess we're gonna be blurping a bunch of this out.
I couldn't hear him. He went. Did he get muted? I didn't hear anything what he said. Say it again. No, I'm serious. I'm not joking. So what happened? Yeah, that sounds about right. But why did I do that?
I don't know why you did that, but it was like I was like, "What the fuck are you doing, man?" And then we became friends. I don't know.
So this is the first thing you met. How old are you at this point? You guys must have been teenagers. Yeah,
18.
Yeah, no, I was probably 19 or something like that. I don't know how many.
You're like a year or 2 older than me, right?
Maybe
something like that.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm 49 now.
I don't remember that being the first time we met, but I do remember. That house was.
That was my first
wild.
memory. That house was wild.
There you go.
So you met his moment before you met him.
A lot of. Yeah. I look over. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? I'm like, what the fuck you doing, man?
Yeah. Wait, was it tattooed?
Yeah, it was tattooed.
Yeah.
And
Okay,
you
so
had
I was 18. Yeah.
Yeah. And the giant ring. Yeah.
So we're probably gonna have to cut most of this out right now. This is getting pretty in depth.
If you cut that part out, if you cut it out, call it a Briss edit.
Anyway,
Jamie
that was my first memory, I think. Yeah.
Jamie, is that the same house that from the picture you sent me with Edwin and your guys' bellies hanging out?
No, that was at somebody else took that photo. I think the person who took that photo was what the hell? I don't remember his name anymore. Oh no, I do remember his name, but I'm not going to say it. The Missile took that photo.
Okay.
Remember the Missile, Steve?
No. Mm-mm.
Steve.
Oh yeah. Tally.
I don't want to say. I think it.
Tally,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
He makes porn. He makes porn, guys. We can talk about this, okay? Yeah.
Does he really?
Yeah, he was doing porn for a while. I mean, with that
Shut
thing,
the
you might
fuck
as
up.
well, right?
Serious?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
You want to just trash Steve
surprised.
Tally right now?
There's nothing to trash, man. If I had something that large in my pants, I'd bronze it. Like,
Yeah, seriously. The craziest part with him was, he was stacked like two tall boys, right? So we would be downtown, and you would look over like by the the Revolution? What was it called back then? Chili Pepper. And Steve would be surrounded by
edge.
girls.
We'd be hanging out at the edge.
It was the edge.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Girls would be surrounded by Geronimo, and I'd be like, "What the hell are they doing?" And the girls would ask him to pull it out and put it in his mouth, and he would do this standing up.
What?
Oh yeah.
Yes. Remember?
How do I not remember any of this?
Oh, it was
He
tragic.
did
It was
that a
tragic.
couple times on road trips. We took a road trip up to Boston, and he did that driving. He did that one time on the tour bus with Culture. He would do that a lot. Yeah. I saw that dude's wang more than any other wang I've ever seen that's not my own.
More than he's seen his own wang.
Dude, there was a period of time where I got wicked fat where I couldn't see my own wang without a fucking mirror. So yeah, it's even more
full-length mirror, right? Yeah. So I'll be honest, Chef. By the way, the listener, the reason why I'm calling him a chef, if you don't know who Jamie Bissonnette is, he's a well-known chef to us, but mostly the world. He's probably the most famous person I know, personally, before he was famous, I should say. But yeah, so Chef, just before you got on here, Geronimo and Jolie were going to tell us, and this is pretty funny because then I want you to tell the story about us afterwards. They were going to tell us the story about how they would initiate their new band members.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I want to hear this.
So we'd invite
fun.
like, I mean, we would invite like I remember one time we were asking a bass player to come and join the band or whatever. So we'd have him over to his house because we like to have like a dinner, get to know the people, and so Jolie we'd decorate our house in Scientology, and like we'd have the Scientology channel on playing, books, pictures of John Travolta on the wall, and we'd tell him like, yeah, this is what we're into. We'd tell him like, dude, you really need to read the Dianetics because it's great. It'll change your life. Like we'd push the shit on him like to the very end, and yeah, it was great. Anyway, that's
you
what
guys are in Strong Arm.
Fucked up. That's
wow.
You know what it reminded me of, Chef? Just remember going getting the little Jesus figurines and stuff at the house when me and you
At
and
the
Tony lived
bodega?
together, and we put it around the
bodega
house.
we went by. Yeah.
And we used to say we're gonna have girls over.
Agnostic at the time.
Yeah, and then we would say if we have girls over, we're just gonna ask them for a Bible study, and then when we'd be out, the girls would be like, "Hey, like, what are you guys doing after this? Oh, we're gonna go home and study the Bible." And just in case one of these girls came, there'd be like a little baby black Jesus, because we try to find as many black Jesuses as possible. I remember that.
Well, the best part was
terrible.
we got to actuate that with girls coming over exactly 0 fucking times.
0 times. There was one time Jamie came home with a girl, and we ruined it for him.
You sure did. I never saw her again.
Yeah, those were good old days. Yeah, we were so bad to each other from the moment I got off the
Bad
plane.
to each other. We were awesome to each other, dude.
The word block was designed for us because all we did was block each other constantly.
I'm fairly certain we invented it.
Yeah. I got off the plane in Boston, and I mean, I'm terrified to fly. I'm by myself. I'm going up to see Jamie, move in with Jamie. Jamie is the greatest friend in the world. I was going through a lot of crap, and he moved me up to Connecticut, but I flew into Boston that day, and I sat next to this beautiful woman, and she was way above my way above. She's there. This is funny because it's going to lead right up to what we were just talking about too. And I'm like, she's like, oh, so what are you here for? I'm like, I'm moving up. My buddy's a chef. He's giving me a job up there, and blah blah blah. I'm boots and braces. Flight jacket. I'm pretty skinhead right now. And she's into it. It's great. So we're hitting it off. She's like, yeah, maybe your friends and I can all hang out. I'm like, yeah, sure, And as soon as I see this guy, what came out of my mouth? Oh, last time I saw this guy, he was putting his on my friend's shoulder, on our friend's shoulder. It was fucking Andy's, and she just kept walking. And I was like, hey, where are you going? What's going on? Jamie and I just could block each other at any time. How did you see that story? That's how what happened, right? I was like, last time I saw this guy, he was whipping his out, putting it on my friend's face or something like that.
You were like, oh my God, I'm so happy. This is Jamie. I was telling you about. I haven't seen a river. Oh. And you start hyperventilating in total Adam style, where you start to sound like Caveman, Captain Caveman.
Yeah.
You're like, and I saw him last time. He was in Florida. Our friend passed out, and then him and Jose, and there's a photo, and there's on his face. Where are you going?
Hey, where are you going?
Oh my God, classic Adam. Talking to a girl, and then it's, where are you going?
Yeah.
there was a point.
Go ahead.
Oh.
You're going to say it. Go ahead, say it.
There was a point in us living together in Hartford, Connecticut, where every single person saw us walk into a room or a bar and just went, fuck, look at these fucking guys. Because no matter what we were doing, it was either we were going to pick a fight, start a fight each other, try to talk to girls.
Yeah, that didn't happen much.
Talk to girls never really happened. It was
never
really
worked.
bad. I think the only person who had any game was Tony.
Because he didn't say anything.
And he was, good looking, quiet, dark, taller guy, and you and I were two tattooed miscreant fucking animals.
Yeah, true.
Honestly, Adam, we were feral. Like when people that know me now and as a professional and they're like, oh my God, you're a restaurateur and all of this shit. Like, what were you like as a kid? You must have been so diligent. Were you studying? And I was like, dude, I was fucking feral. My friend Adam lived with me in Hartford, and we used to get drunk and tackle parking meters. And then at one point we were so broke that we took a drill and we spent $25 on drill bits trying to drill open the parking meters to take out about $8. Like, we had a collection of pylons. One night we stole, actually you and Tony stole.
It was me and Tony, the night of the alien abduction.
The 50-gallon planters that they have in the median in 4-lane roads that they like put cypress trees in. Okay, woke up in the morning, there's one in our living room.
There wasn't just one. There was 3. There was 3 in the whole house. We also collected 15 fucking cones from the highway.
Cones, pylons.
Yeah, it was bad.
Parking meters.
So,
incidentally, I never got the security deposit back from that house.
We hid so much stuff in the attic when we left there too. It was actually, this is what happened that night. It was, we were abducted by aliens, is what we always would say.
We did?
No, you weren't. Me and Tony were. Because Jamie said to us, the attic, yeah, where the one-eyed guy lived in. Yeah. What was his name?
What? A one-eyed guy?
Todd, the one-eyed tattooer, lived up in our attic.
You had a cyclops.
Let's not get off track here, okay? This is pretty good.
He was a two-eyed cyclops, but yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he had a glass eye. So Jamie says to us, Tony and I, hey, I don't want you. I have a chance to go out with this girl tonight. I don't want you guys to fuck it up. So you guys are on your own tonight. And Tony and I were literally drinking in your restaurant. What was that? What was the name of that restaurant?
Civic Cafe.
The Civic Cafe. So Tony,
we didn't own it.
Tony
and I just ran. We're the chefs.
They were the executive chefs there, you know. So Tony and I decided we're gonna just keep drinking here. Then fine, and we drank and drank, and then that was the last thing we remembered. And then when we woke up, there was trees in the house, cones everywhere. That wasn't the parking. That wasn't the same night that we took the parking meter, right? That was a different night.
No, I was out with. That was us together. That wasn't Tony.
Yeah, and then when we with Jamie's pissed.
Is that the night that you?
I don't know what you're talking about. Let's not talk about that. No more. Okay. No. What was funny was you came out of your room.
On that death threat. Don't worry.
Yeah. Yeah. I was so bad back then. So Jamie wakes up. He's really pissed off. He's like, "What the hell is all this?" Blah blah blah. And we're like, "Screw you, dude. You went out with a girl, and we had to hang out with each other." But we didn't really remember much. And then we went out. Only one of us had a car. No, I didn't have a car. Tony had a car, and he had gotten out of his car, and the doors were wide open. I think it was still running, or like it was the battery was dead. Like we literally just were. Yeah, we were a mess. So Tony and I just said we were abducted by aliens last night. So every now and then we'd be like, "Hey, you want to have an alien night?" You know, just completely black out. God, what a mess we were. How did we survive, Jamie?
We left. You went back to Florida, and I moved to Boston.
Oh man!
Promptly after that, like when that band broke up, it was time to go. Like I had my boss, Billy Grant, who I'm still friends with, chef, owner of really great restaurants in Hartford. Yeah, I'm still talking to Billy. And awesome. He said, he's like, "Yo, JB, you are going to rise to the level of the people you surround yourself with." And I said, "Yeah." He's like, "But you keep surrounding yourself with people that you just guys do dumb shit and you're bringing each other down." He's like, "You are a townie and you're not going to succeed in this industry, in this town, because you're making a bad name for yourself." And I'm paraphrasing a little bit. And I was like, "Oh, yeah. All right. So what you're saying, I'm not going to get promoted? Is that what you're saying?" And he was like, he goes, "I think I'm going to have to fire you soon." And I said, "Great." And I moved to Boston 2 weeks later. That was it.
Wow. Do you remember when
I got to Boston and I was like, "Fuck it. I'm not doing that shit anymore." I mean, I was still an idiot, and you can't take that shit out of people like us that grew up, you know, in hardcore and punk rock and feral and whatnot. But like, I realized I needed to really I had concentrated so much on my career during culinary school and living in Florida, and then went to Boston, and then went back to Hartford for just about 2 years. And in those 2 years, I undid so much positivity in my life. Like, I mean, it's fun to joke about, but like we were the kind of people that I like would totally not want to be around right now.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, I'll go back to Hartford, and like I'll walk into a bar and somebody will give me the double look, like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Hey man, it's been 20 years. Don't worry. We don't do that anymore. Nice to see you too." But yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember the day that he pulled us into the office? I think this was after
Fran, the owner of the restaurant.
Yeah.
And he said, "No more cowboy shit."
No more cowboy shit.
No more cowboy shit.
You know why? That's why my corporation has the word cowboy in it now. Because of that conversation.
Use cowboy all the time. Oh my god!
Do you really?
That conversation was hysterical. He's like, "You guys are chefs representing this big restaurant in downtown Hartford, and every day you get out of work and you just go bar to bar doing a bunch of cowboy shit. All right, this isn't the Wild West. You can't do any more cowboy shit." Too. And I'm like, "That's such a great term. We should make sure we all." He's like, "You all giggled, and he got mad when we giggled. That I own, and you fight the bartenders." We're like, "We do?" It's like, "You guys got into a fight and a dude in a convertible outside the front of our restaurant and then brought them in to drink afterwards." It's like, "Oh, yeah."
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, boy.
Those were great days. I mean, You gotta let it run its course. You know what I mean? You just gotta let it run its course every now and then. Yeah, I don't think I would. I don't think. I think I would rewind a couple things we did up there. You know what I mean?
We did some great shit too, like 24-hour road trips. We packed up a car, brought one of our friends, Biggie, drove to Florida, drove 24 hours straight, spent 18 hours in Fort Lauderdale, and then drove back.
Yeah.
48 hours in the car to hang out for 18 hours with our friends at the poorhouse. I mean, it was totally worth it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we did do crazy stuff. The greatest part about that trip, Geronimo, is Biggie was a very large black man with long dreads and gold teeth that said Biggie. And Biggie had never been out of like that tri-state area, right? Or did he live in Connecticut his whole life? It was New York and Connecticut, right?
No, he grew up in New York. He grew up in Queens or the Bronx, and he got arrested in Danbury, Connecticut for crack possession. And he ended up going to jail, and then he wasn't allowed to leave the state of Connecticut during his probation.
Right. So we say, hey, Biggie, you want to come with us? And he's like, yeah, son, I want to go with you. So we get in the car. There's just three of us. Now, Biggie is big enough to take up the whole front of the car. So it's very cramped. And Jamie's, you had a Jetta? What was it that you had?
Yeah, exactly.
Volkswagen. Yeah. And this red Jetta. And we're like driving and we're like, oh, yeah, well, I'll take shifts. And he's like, yeah. Well, when it's time for Biggie to take a shift, he's never driven a stick shift in his life.
He's never driven any car.
Yeah. No, he had a car. He kept renting cars, remember?
It's all blurry.
Yeah. So then now Jamie and I are having to do shifts all the way down there. And when we get to Fort Lauderdale Beach, we go and visit Jose at Bulldog. And I'm like, I want to go show him the beach. So we walk over there and it's at night. So all he sees is like these lights, like these big buildings out in this blank area. I said, Biggie, that's not a building, that's a ship. And he freaks out and turns around because this guy was so used to growing up in a jail and only being in certain places. He'd never seen a big open area like that before. And it gave him chills, freaked him out.
Yeah. He said,
so I think that was one of the,
this open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, I literally, that was like probably the most rewarding part of that trip, bringing that guy down there. And then we go out and this guy disappears on us because he knows all these promoters in Fort Lauderdale. We're like, where the hell is Biggie? Crazy. Small world. There's always a small world.
So from like the club that our boss in Hartford owned a club, and all the promoters would come up and do these big nights there. And Biggie worked at the club as a bouncer and a bar back, and he also worked as a garde manger cook for us some nights. So he kind of knew everybody.
Yeah,
guy was wild.
Every time I cut tomatoes, I say it out loud too. Just to this day, he would be cutting tomatoes like, cutting tomatoes, a motherfucker, son. Say it all the time. He'd just be back there shopping like so mad at it. But he would just. You had to see the size of this man. If you put Jamie and I together, we still wouldn't be as large as this man.
Oh, he's huge. Yeah, he's enormous.
He was huge. So one of my favorite things I've seen about interviews with you, or you in interviews, is how you quote hardcore and punk music. I love that.
You got to give the people a little, what are they called? Easter eggs. When someone is like, oh, I'm a foodie restaurant person, let's talk to that Jamoke Jamie. And then I say something, I throw in a lyric from a Judge song, or like talk about Timescape Zero or something random like that as a band that I loved, just to see if anybody's listening. And then I get a couple of text messages or an Instagram direct message that's like, yo, man, are you talking about like Dead Guy the band? It's like, yeah, man, I love that shit.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. It's like you have this whole group of people that like look at you in a certain light, like you and I have known each other since we were kids. Geronimo's known you since we were kids, so we see each other in that frame of life. And then I could admire who you are now, but to think that people have no clue, they could assume, oh, he's got tattoos, but what do we all think about when we see people with tattoos? We always think, oh, that guy's been to jail, you know what I mean? Or that guy had a rough life.
Not anymore. Now you're like,
anymore.
Oh, that guy with tattoos. He likes to put a nice little drizzle of balsamic on his vegan chili.
He must be a lawyer. Or,
exactly. Nowadays, and as a tattooer, you must see this. You have these kids that come in and they want to get these pretty, perfect, all kind of inclusive sleeves, and like they're, oh yeah, I want it to look so beautiful. And I don't know, it's like you're getting these tattoos to like look more pretty, and we got tattoos to hide the shame.
Yeah. To keep you away.
I can tell, like when I meet other chefs, I'm like, are you the chef who just got tattoos because you're a chef? And then I see the other ones, I'm like, oh, you've definitely been to a hardcore show, or like you're not a chef. You may be a chef now, but you can tell from like, I call it the patina, the more old shitty tattoos. It's like, you're either a hardcore kid or you were a tattooer, because all my tattooer friends have the worst tattoos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we see it all the time now. Like these people come with pretty tattoos, and there used to be a time where you would see somebody with a tattoo on them. You're like, oh, I wonder who this kid is. I haven't seen this person before, or like, man, I wonder who tattooed them. And now it's just like everybody under the sun has tattoos, and I think if tattoos are too perfect, they're not real tattoos to me.
Tattoos, like seeing people heavily tattoos, are like seeing like somebody with a Crimson Skull like Misfits shirt. Where it used to be like you'd be walking through the mall and you'd see them and be like, yo, Kindred Spirit, man. Because not everybody could get that shirt. Not everybody knew what it meant, or Black Flag bars or whatnot.
Yeah.
And now you see somebody with that, and it could be anybody. It could just be legitimately anybody not knowing anything about it but liking the shirt, because they're so much more accessible. And I feel like accessible and acceptable are the two things that have made what we come from not as edgy as it once was. But whatever.
Yeah.
Such is the nature of change.
Yeah. I also noticed our part of life of getting tattooed was very rebellious to get tattooed, and I feel like now the kids nowadays, because that's tattoo's still getting tattooed. There's a certain generation of kids that always get tattooed. They don't really. Their rebellion is not to be tattooed. Their rebellion is not to drink. And I think there's going to be a whole nother generation of their children that are going to be like, yeah, let's just like be punk rock, like true punk rock, and do crazy things. Let's get tattoos on our faces and stuff. There's a generation of kids that only tattoo their face because they think they're going to be hip hop artists one day, which I find is very funny, very humorous. You know what I mean? It's just like, that's not what's going to make you a tattooer. I think we made it look too cool when we were younger,
We were all whatever in a car all the way to go skate, getting pulled over, and then having us all get out of the car, take our shirts off, get photographed because of all the tattoos, and they thought we were a gang.
Dude, totally.
Like,
that was such a South Florida thing, though. That was such a South Florida thing. Yeah. Yeah.
Lining us all up on the wall, take your shirts off. Like,
what gang is this? Straight edge you're in. What is this?
Yeah. What's it say on your back? It's my fucking last name, dude.
Charlie Brown and this kid Joe that we used to hang out with would always come
Charlie Brown. What a fucking name I have not heard in years. Holy cow.
He would tell him we're the Banana Pudding Posse. We just make up different like abbreviations and stuff like that. And I was always like, dude, just why are you feeding into this? Like, and they always thought it was crazy. Like, do we really look like we're in a gang? And yeah, we really look like we're in a gang. We're all dressed alike. We're all have shaved heads. Oh man. I actually talk people out of getting tattoos now. And I use that scenario, like, especially young, urban kids. I'm like, if you tattoo this on the side of your face or your head, do you think you get pulled over enough as it is now? For no reason. You're going to give them a full, like, this kid's up to no good, crushed in a face tattoo. Oh yeah, you're right. But they're still like people still come in for the more of the shocking stuff, but it's just like the worst, what we would call the job stoppers, kind of what you have.
Yeah. I was just
like, who has?
I was just gonna say, job stoppers. Are people even still saying that anymore? Because that's what we called them back in the day. You wouldn't get jobs. I referred to
my wife has hand tattoos, and I told her, I'm like, when you got your job stoppers, she's like, wait, what does that mean? I was like, well, here it is. Yeah, explaining that was in the 90s. Yes. It's crazy.
Yeah,
insane, man.
Because that'd be that's a no-go. And here's the ultimate thing right here. This is what I want to know straight from the horse's mouth.
Oh boy.
So what happened with that exactly? That you got to do this. whatever the story was with Rocking Horse Winter and finding that promoter that stiffed us.
He's got the popcorn out.
Nice. Do you remember that?
Of course I do.
So what is the deal with that?
We've been hearing every version except yours.
Yeah, I've heard
for
everybody
years.
talk about this forever. I'm like, Jamie did what? I'm like, what? And then eventually years later,
tell me the version you heard. I want to hear.
I heard that you cornered some kid in some alley and just kicked the shit out of him because he didn't. He's tried to stiff us on a guarantee or something like that.
Okay, what's the other version you've heard?
That was.
I don't remember it being an alley.
No,
I don't think it was an alley. Let's get it correct. What kind of stories people are telling you, man.
So for years, I heard about this thing, and we were like, "What? Who?" And then
I don't remember what the story was or why, but I remember, was it you, Adam, or Edwin? Somebody was talking about how you guys got hosed. I can't remember the guy's name anymore.
Do you remember his name? I called you up.
I don't remember his name.
Yeah.
I called you up and I said, "Hey." Yeah, I said, "Hey, this kid's stiff."
I remember who he is. I remember what he looks like, but I don't remember his name.
I think it was Alston or something. It was like a little church or something we played in.
I don't know, but anyway, the story was we played this show.
It was Alston, yeah. It was the church show, yeah.
Yeah.
So we played the show.
I don't remember who the kid was, but I remember. Yeah, okay, I mean, I remember what we did.
We played with Branston.
I don't remember what his name is.
We're on tour with this band,
Branston.
Branston, and then we at the end of the show, we all have guarantees, right? Because we all have
contract.
Contract. People are. Yeah. We got 5 people in our van, 5 people at the other band. Whatever. It's like shit. We're living on $10 a day per diem, right? Which up there ain't shit at the time, So we're fucking hungry. We need our fucking guarantee, man. It wasn't even that much. No. I think it was like $100 or $150.
Something. I think Branson was getting more or something. I'm not sure. I can't remember exactly.
A bigger band, but so the guy at the end of the show, the guy's like, "I don't have the money," and we're like, "You don't have money?" I'm like, "What do you mean you don't have money?" It's like it's a guarantee. You sign a contract. It's like you either doesn't matter how many people come, you got to pay it. That's what a guarantee is. And so Jolie gets all. She's like,
"Well, we had no tour manager. I had to be the asshole. There was no way around it."
Yeah.
So he was like, "Well, I guess I can go to the ATM."
Yeah.
I can go to the ATM if you really need it. I was like, "Well, we counted on this. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Like, this is."
Yeah. So anyway, we fall into the ATM.
We felt bad though, obviously.
I mean, I'm
Wait,
sorry.
Did he give you the money?
Yeah,
he did, but afterward he went on the Equal Vision web board and talked shit.
No, afterward he went on Equal Vision and talked shit about us, and then that's when I think Adam said, I don't know how you. I think we played a show at Adam's skate park or something. I don't know, and then we told Adam or something. But,
told him the story.
But yeah, he was talking shit about us all over the web boards, and
he started like a whole thread, and everybody was shit talking us on the label.
Shit talking us on the label on our record label's website, and saying how greedy we were and shit like that.
That I was a pretentious bitch and all this stuff. He was saying.
Shit like that. When
so what happened?
Shit, I owe that guy. I apologize. You actually got the money
after you.
I think so. I don't remember. I think so.
Yeah, he gave us the money.
Yeah.
He gave us the money, but the thing is, he went and shit-talked us the whole freaking time.
Yeah, was that after.
You know? And then the other band we were with made us look like assholes to the guy.
Yeah. Well,
let's not. We won't talk about that. We'll scratch that.
But so what I was told was that they got screwed over by this guy up there. And I said, well, do you want me to call around and see what I can do for you guys? Because I was in an assumption that you guys had not gotten any dollars at all. And then you're like, yeah, I guess. And then I said, all right. I called up my best friend, Jamie Bissonnette. And Jamie said,
it's a game of telephone.
I'll see him. I'll take care of it when I see him. And then what I was told.
I remember who it is now.
In a restaurant.
I caught
in a booth.
I caught him at the Model, in one of the booths at the Model. This dive bar. It's kind of like a Boston version of like the Poorhouse in Alston. And, anyways,
some poorhouse stuff happened.
Did you know the guy before? Like, did you know who he was?
Casually.
The part
knew
we
who
were
Jamie
pissed at, he
was.
was talking shit about us. That's the thing. That's the part that we were upset about, is that he was saying
I
all
thought
this
you guys
shit
didn't
and
get
spreading
paid.
all this
That's why I
bullshit.
told Jamie.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, it makes a little sense
Yeah.
because I do remember him saying, "But I fucking paid him."
Mm. Oh no. Oh
I'll
no.
erase this part. While you were
I feel
kicking the
bad.
shit out of him, he was saying, I already paid them.
Yeah. Oh no.
I remember that part.
Listen,
But it definitely
listen, I feel
it
bad.
wasn't in the alley. It was in the booth over by the It was
No.
over like anyway, yeah.
I never said
Yeah.
alley. I think you told me the guy
I-
just
whatever.
I
the
feel
back
bad
door
about
went
it.
out the alley.
I must have had all these, who knows, I had these fantasies in my head of what
Yeah,
was
it's
going
been
on.
like the legend forever.
Yeah, it's been like
How
something
many
we
years
talk
ago
about.
was that?
Dude, that was
A long
like
time ago.
2001 or something.
2002.
that was
maybe?
like
2002.
Yeah.
2000. Yeah, it must have been late. It was definitely
It was
2002-ish.
No, it was 01.
Was it
Because
01?
I came back.
01?
It was probably
Yeah, I was
2001
doing the
because we
skate
did a
park after I
tour.
left up there.
That's right. Yeah.
We did a
That was
tour
01?
right after
Must have been
9/11.
late 01.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
Because I remember where I
'cause
was
we didn't-
living afterwards, and I had only moved into that place in probably like November of 01, maybe a little bit earlier.
Yeah, 'cause
Anyway,
that tour started in October.
I still
of
see him
2000
around from
after
time to
9/11.
time. I might buy him a beer next time I see him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that
When you
was-
see
that
this
was pretty-
gentleman, Jamie, does he cross the road to walk on the other side of the road? Or
no.
like, do you brush shoulders every now and then?
We
You
don't
see him
talk.
around still?
Yeah, I mean, I don't
He's
go to
still- he's
shows
still up-
hardly at all. He doesn't sound like he's coming into my restaurants like, "Hey, man, can I get some chapche?" Yeah, no.
Hey, remember that
yeah,
time?
I haven't. Yeah. Every once in a while, somebody be like, "Do you know?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I know him." Like, "Yeah, he's just that you're an asshole." I'm like, "Man, fuck him." Yeah. To be honest, I didn't remember why I beat him up until just
Really?
now. I had no idea. I remember
Congratulations.
beating him up about money, but I didn't remember who it was for.
I guess I don't know if I should say
It was
thanks
24 years
or-
ago. 25 years
That's
ago.
crazy.
Come on.
Yeah. It's
25
crazy.
years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you've
it's
grown,
crazy.
Jamie. I have I met a gentleman.
It's a half a lifetime.
Yeah. Seriously.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's crazy. I had a gentleman, I think I told you about this, Jamie, that didn't believe I knew you. He's a chef on a yacht, and he kept calling you Jamie Bissonnette. And I was like, no, his name's Jamie Bissonnette. And he got into an argument with me. And I think just previous to that, you had called me on one of your, like, I think this is when you were still single. You called me like late night drinking, like you used to do. And I was like, no, I know
I
this
used to
guy.
go out
And
to the
he's like,
bar alone, and I would miss my Adam. Yes, I remember those
Yeah.
days.
And I'm like, look, he's like, dude, you don't know him. That's not his name. I'm like, well, first off, his book's on the shelf. Second off, and I went into my phone. I'm like, he called me last night. And he's like, oh, and he like started drooling and wanted to know all these things about you. And I was just like, I'm not going to tell you anything about him. I'm sorry, he's my little secret. So
Is he the guy who was on who lives in Fort Lauderdale, who was on Below Deck? Ben?
no.
Damn.
Totally different guy.
Shit. You never saw Below Deck, Adam?
No, never.
Gee,
That's
it's a
good.
good show. It's a good show.
Nah, looks stupid.
It is. That's why it's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's Geronimo's go-to on this podcast. If he doesn't like something, he calls it stupid. So, it's just a callback from
stupid.
that.
Or if I've
Stupid,
never
yes.
seen it, it's stupid.
He's never seen the movie. It's usually about movies.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, no, didn't watch it. It looks stupid. I'm like, what is wrong with you? You didn't see it, but you know it's stupid. So it's a whole
I
segment.
just know what
that
I
we
like.
do now. Yeah. Jamie, what's your
Somebody
favorite
was talking
movie?
about a movie. Well, it's kind of a depressing movie. People talk about it as an uplifting movie, but it's about a mentally disabled man who he kind of overcomes a lot of challenges in life. But the whole thing is he's in love with this woman, and she's a drug addict and treats him terribly. Like leads him on, turns him away, leads him on, turns away, and he has just this like epic life of like love lost, love found, except for without
I know where
her.
you're going with this.
And then at the end, like he becomes a drug addict and contracts AIDS, and then finally succumbs to loving him, has his baby, then dies and leaves him to raise the child alone. And it's called Forrest Gump.
Nice. Perfect.
Oh my God. So Geronimo, how do you feel about that movie?
That was good.
it stupid?
Pretty stupid, if you ask me. Pretty stupid. Yeah.
Oh my
perfect.
God. That was a great build-up. That was great.
Yeah, it's good. I was about to look it up. Like, what movie is that?
That's your favorite movie. huh?
Man, what book? Oh, and you look at it in that light now. My favorite movie is a tie between a movie that I loved since I was young, True Romance. I just loved the imagery. I loved the violence. I loved Gary Oldman. And I
Yeah.
loved, my wife and I watched Zero Dark 30 with Jessica Chastain
Never seen it.
probably 100 times.
Really? Zero
You
Dark
ever seen
30.
I don't think we did.
What is
I don't
that
think I've ever
about?
seen that. I don't think I've ever seen that.
It's about the CIA and the SEAL team that hunts and finds Osama bin Laden. It's like a stupid,
watched it
trashy
100
action
times?
movie. Probably.
And your
Anytime it's
wife
on, we
likes
watch
this.
it. I download it to my. Well, she loves it. If it's, we quote it to each other like regularly. Seen, yeah,
You found her.
yeah,
That's her. That's your person right there.
dude.
That's
There's so many
amazing.
reasons. When Song and I were first started, we've known each other since 2009. She worked for me
Mhm.
for a period of time, then left and went and worked in other restaurants. She's out of the restaurant industry now. But we've remained friends this entire time. And I've always kind of pined after her, and it turned out she did for me. We finally started dating. We've been married for 6 years. And anyways, long story short, we started like getting serious. We were friends, and we would go out and be like, "Hey, want to go on a real date?" She's like, "I've got a boyfriend. You can't. No, we can just be friends." We never crossed the line. We never crossed the line. And then finally, she's like, "Okay, we can go on a real date." And we're going, and like a week into dating, and we go and we have dinner at this restaurant, and we eat like kind of light. And we're walking back to her house, and we're walking by this other restaurant, and I go, "Oh, hey, do you want to stop in and grab a drink here?" Mostly I had to piss wicked bad. He's like, yeah, I can go for another drink. So we go in and order a glass of wine. And she's like, I might order like another appetizer or something. And mind you, we had just had full dinner. She orders like the fried zucchini appetizer and something else. And I'm like, I might order another thing too. She's like your archette pasta, we could share it. And we ended up having a full-on second dinner. And that's
No
been our
way.
thing. Like, we both love food. My wife is, a wicked petite girl, yoga, 5 times a week. She doesn't look like she eats like a horse, but we eat. Like, that's our thing. We food party, man. And that was how I knew
Right.
that I met my soulmate. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Or like second date, she looks at me and she goes, how do you like your chicken wings? And I like perked up and I explained how I like them and how I like to cook them. And then about a week later, she made buffalo wings at home. And to this day, they're the best chicken wings I've ever had.
Wow.
Best. She's the best. Yeah. But you know what I think
was
about
she a
almost every
chef
time I
too, or-
eat chicken wings, Adam?
Beer and wings are good.
Because beer and wings are good.
'Cause
We had this dumbass
Andy.
roommate who's awesome. He wasn't actually a dumbass. He's probably the smartest of all of us.
Smartest
and the most evolved.
and a really kind soul too. A really kind soul.
Really,
He was a
really
good
kind.
kid. Yeah.
But he would
should
say
have
like,
been hanging
hey,
out with us.
what do we well, I went to high school with him, for a half a year. He didn't realize how crazy and dumb we were. He lived on the porch. We had an enclosed porch. And it was an enclosed porch on the second floor. And it had a
They
sliding
call it a
like
sunroom up
accordion
there.
door. Yeah, it's called a sunroom. It snows here, and it's winter. He did not have heat, and his at the time girlfriend, eventually his wife, came to visit. She was living in New Haven, about an hour away. She came up to stay with him, and it was like December. And she's like, Andy, you can't live. There's no heat out here. He's like, no, it's okay. I mean, that apartment sucked. That apartment sucked so bad.
Apartment sick. It had what it's called, accordion doors.
Yeah.
It had accordion doors for his entrance and had
because you remember that
the tape.
Who did we throw through it? We threw somebody through it before you left.
Oh boy.
No, but do you remember taping the door and he was sleeping. He was a hard sleeper, and we put like tape across it, that you see in all these videos nowadays. And he walked into it, and I think that's what broke the door. Yeah.
No. It was after he had moved out, because he moved out before you did, because he realized that he was
being tortured.
Maybe it was after you left. I think remember Emiliano? Remember Emiliano, the grill cook?
Yeah.
He was over, and Tony kicked him in the chest, joking around, and he flew through the door. That's right.
No way. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we set this poor kid up and put tape all over the door, the recording door, like, because you just walk freely through. It's not like a swinging door. And when he did, I think we were all like half awake, and we heard it, and we all had bedrooms. We were all dying laughing at this poor fucking kid. And he was a string bean of a guy too. He's such a sweet kid. Oh man. God, we kind of tortured him.
Do you remember what we?
But he used to.
Do you remember what we used to do to the toilet?
Yes. Do you want to talk about that though?
Nope.
Nope.
Come on, now you have to.
It was whoever could
save
be
for this,
the
but
most
I will
monstrous.
I mean, you guys have said everything else. What I mean is how
it's
bad
pretty gross.
is
So that's why
No,
I don't really want to bring it.
I don't think it was.
Come on. Do you remember? All right. Well, we'll talk about it. I just won't publish it. Okay. Here's the thing.
I don't remember
used to
anything
play
about
this-
it being racist. I just remember we would play the game of whoever could leave the most monstrous fucking water dragon in the toilet would then try to get somebody else to go in and open the top. We would leave a thing in there.
And here's the thing. If you were the last man out, you didn't catch just one poop. You caught 3 poops. So, and I was the last man out every now and then. And you would go in, like, you'd be like half awake, hungover, walk in, and these other 3 gentlemen have already shit on top of each other's shit. So it'd just be a toilet filled with massive amounts of shit.
Oh, wow.
It's disgusting.
Wow.
This is the same point of time where was it a show? South Park came out with Mr. Hanky Poo.
Oh yeah,
Do you remember
Mr.
that?
Hanky.
But I never watched
You
that
love Mr.
show.
Hanky?
Of course.
Oh,
No, I
bro,
remember that. I
you
remember
watched this
seeing him, but I
episode.
never watched it.
That episode.
No,
So I
did
then
not.
decided I was going to fuck with these guys, and I did some paper. I found some magazines, and I found a big.
God.
Oh
cup
yeah,
of,
you did like a
cup of Joe.
murder collage. Yeah.
It was a cup of Joe with this man that was just like winning, running across the finish line with his arms up on the back of the toilet. So when you lifted it up, that's what you would see, Mr. Hanky.
I strangely don't remember that.
Oh, I
Wow.
do.
Yeah.
I do, because you guys were
Oh, I don't remember
fucking
that.
dying laughing. Oh, it was so bad. These guys would call me up every now and then, like, "Hey, did you go to the bathroom yet?" I'm like, "Oh man, what am I gonna walk into?" Because every morning you had the fucking shits. We were so drunk all the time, so drunk.
The worst part is, like, here we are as an adult. You know what you could do before you lift the seat? You could flush.
Yeah,
It's not like you had
Yeah.
to look first, but none of us ever flushed. It's like we liked it.
I
I'm
don't-
looking at you, Adam, because I always went
I don't
first.
think I liked it, but I think what happened was I was hungover and I would always forget. That was another thing. It's like it would never smell like shit. It was so cold. My first winter up there that didn't even last a month.
Tony and I were so cheap and we were so broke. We were broke all the time.
Yeah.
Time. Tony had his 2 kids and he had, alimony and child support, and he made more money because when we were negotiating our contract to be the co-executive chefs of this restaurant, the guy said, "This is how much money I can do for you guys to split." And I was like, "Well, Tony has more cost of living than I do, so I'll take less." How fucking dumb of me at the time. I was broke. We spent all our money on booze, records, and shows, and yeah, like never had any money, so we never filled up the oil tank, to have heat. It would be week before Christmas, and you could see your breath in the bathroom. We would oh God, it was awful. Oh, so cold, so dumb.
So I'm up there. It's
We
the
would
first
start
cold-
dating girls so we could sleep at their house. You get heat? Yeah. Want to go out? Like, I
Yeah.
didn't think I'm your type. I'm like, you got 9 arms and 15
Yeah.
eyes. You're fine. I'll go home with you. You
Your
got heat.
teeth are evenly spaced apart. It's pretty awesome.
Oh my God.
The first,
It looks
so
like
that
your
we had a
tongue's in
cold
jail, but I'm cool.
the first cold snap that they had, these guys are at work and I'm freezing. So I have 2 pair of socks on, boxer shorts, a pair of pants, a tank top, a t-shirt, a sweater, and a flight jacket. Mind you, I have my
It would have
boots
been more,
on.
but that's all the clothes he owned.
That's all the clothes I owned at the time. And then these guys come home. They're like, "What the fuck is up with you?" And I'm like, "Dude, can we turn the heat on?" They're like, "Oh, we don't buy oil until December, and it's like September." And I'm like, "This is fucking miserable. I got to go home. Fuck this place."
And then you left in
Oh.
October. God, that was fucking funny, man.
Oh man,
That was so funny.
those are good days.
Oh.
Mr. Hanky, Jamie,
Yeah,
how
you
did we
definitely need to
meet?
cut that out.
Yeah,
How did you and I meet?
yeah.
Dude, a whole bunch of people told us about each other. I had moved to Fort Lauderdale, 1995 summer, living in downtown, I was living in the old crack house hotel that they turned into dorms on where Sunrise and US 1 had that turn. You could go straight and go down to the beach, which would be like Comanche Brothers and that side, the old Bulldog. And then that way it was, going towards Bennigan's or whatever was the dorm. So I lived there, and I was a hardcore kid in Skin. So like I was new to town. I didn't really know anybody. I had moved down there, and my other friends who had moved from Connecticut were living on the beach in Miami. Gumby and like Darren Brass, Gumby and Pete Morrissey. And I didn't get to go down there a lot because I didn't have a car yet. My car was still in Connecticut. So I would just find things through, what was that old periodical? The free newspaper, New Times?
Yeah.
New Times, yeah.
Yeah, I would like look in the New Times or one of those rags. And I was like, oh, there's a ska night at Club Nemesis. And I would go and meet people. And then I started just going to the local tattoo shops. And I met this girl, the skinhead girl named Amy. And she introduced me to her friend, Magoo. And then I went to a show and I met a couple of other people. And I had met, anyway, long story short, I met people who then started telling me about, oh, you got to meet this guy, Adam. He lives up near Springs, Coral Springs. He's also a Skin. He's also straight edge. His favorite band is also Judge. My nickname for dumb reasons was after that Romper Stomper movie, and because I was younger, a lot of my older Skin friends called me Bubsy. He's like, he's got a dog named Bubsy. Like all of these things, right? So I'm like, oh yeah, whatever. I'm gonna fucking hate this guy. Like I don't want to meet anybody who's similar to me. And then the girl goes and tells Adam, oh, I met this guy. He's really nice. And Adam's like, fucking, I don't want to like that guy either. So
yeah,
we automatically hated each other.
Can I interject right now, sir? So she goes to me, oh, I met this skinhead Jamie. He's from Connecticut. He's super rad. He's also straight edge. He also has a crucified skinhead on him, and he plays bass in a band. And I'm like, as she's saying this, I'm like literally like, I'm going to fucking kill this kid when I see him. Who the fuck is this guy coming into town trying to beat me this year? So go ahead. Continue, sir. My side of the story.
And yeah, it was probably like almost a year of us kind of orbiting each other and not being at the same shows, not seeing each other, but having mutual people tell us about each other. What'd you say?
I like how you said that, orbiting each other. Go ahead. Continue.
Yeah, no problem. Do you like that? Because then we get to talk about space docking.
Yeah. That'll be next. Go ahead. Continue.
So like my culinary school, like classmates and I are like, hey, this dorm sucks. Let's get an apartment. And I'm like, I can't. I'm 17. I can't sign a lease yet. I moved to Florida when I was still 17. And I'm like, oh yeah, we'll sign for you. You don't have to have a lease. And we moved to a dump ass fucking shitty apartment in Margate. Apartment 411. I don't remember the address anymore, but it was like Atlantic in US 1, like way the fuck out there. But what was near us? The mall. So day off, I'd go to the mall. And at that point, I had become friends with like Eric Leitner, and Jordan Leitner, and Mark Clapp, and Tally, and Lawrence, and other people, Rich Thurston, and Damien, and Edwin. Like I'd become friends with a bunch of hardcore kids. So I'm walking through the Coral Springs Mall it wasn't any of those guys. It was somebody else who lived in Springs in that same era.
No, I think you were with Jordan.
His name anymore. It wasn't Jordan, but it was somebody skinny. I don't know. Maybe it was Jordan. And we're walking through, and he's like, "Oh, yo, that's Adam Facenda." And he's like, "Hey, Adam, this is Jamie." And we both looked at each other and just went, grunted, shook hands, and then like that was pretty much it. We didn't see each other
Yeah.
again for another like 5 or 6 months. And for whatever reason, the next time we saw each other, we just became friends.
Yeah.
I think it was
So
Lawrence
I was
who did that.
Lawrence was the one that pulled us together for sure. So I was with my girlfriend at the time, Amber, the infamous Amber that we've talked about before, Geronimo. And she was like, who was that? Because she could tell when I was fucking like ready to fight, you know? And I was like, fuck him. Fuck that guy. That's all I said. And supposedly Jamie said the same thing about me.
I walked
Because
away
that's
and
how much
Jordan goes, that's
alike we
Adam. I'm
were.
like, yeah, fuck him. Fuck that guy. And
Well,
then
what's
just,
funny, though-
just like Paula Abdul says, opposites attract.
What a random fucking person to bring up. So what's funny is Lawrence was like trying to get us to be friends, you know, like he's like, come on, man, you guys are so much alike. I'm telling you guys, you really get along. And I'm like, yeah, you know, I know, I'll give him a chance. You know what I mean? Like, he's your best friend. I love you. Why not? You know? And then Jamie and I hit it off so well that Lawrence started getting jealous of our friendship.
Lawrence is like, what about me? What about me?
Ed calls me up. Ed calls me up and he's like, "Hey man, I got this guy in this fucking GNC like starting some shit. Can you come up here?" And I'm like, I said, "Hold on, let me call Jamie." So I called Jamie because I'm not going to call Lawrence. Lawrence did not know how to fight.
But I was at Lawrence's house.
Mad. Yeah. I think you asked him for a ride.
He's like,
or
hey
something.
Jamie, I'm coming to pick you up. I'm like, hey, Lawrence, can you give me a ride over to the GNC over in Springs? He's like, what's up? I'm like, Adam said there's some shit going down with Ed, and he needs some backup. He goes, you didn't call me. I'm like, I don't know.
You call me.
Let's go. Let's just go.
It sounds just like him too.
Yeah.
Like,
Little
yeah,
pouty fucking
like
voice.
Yeah. All right. Guys, like, I could have helped too. I'm not just your fucking taxi, fucking Lawrence.
Fucking Lawrence.
Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, man. So Lawrence, too. Fucking. Oh,
and for
man.
whatever reason, he hated being called Larry, and we only called him Larry.
Oh, he called him Larry.
To the point where we were hanging out at his house, and one day his mom was like, he really doesn't like that. As I was living at his house for like a month, he's like, he really doesn't like that, and I was like, noted.
Yeah. Good. The best part is when you would call him Larry, and then some girl would start calling him Larry that he was trying to hang out with, and he would get so pissed. Like, that's not my fucking name. We ruin it for him every time. He's like, guys, you gotta stop calling me Larry. I'm like, yeah, no, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. I miss that dude.
Yeah,
I see Twan all the time, his little brother.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's eerily crazy. If they're like if he's about 15 feet away from you, you'll think it's Larry, for sure.
Oh,
like
wow.
his posture, everything. It's like, it's weird sometimes. I'm grateful, you know what I mean, but it's still weird sometimes. Yeah, and then it's funny. Jamie and I, even like years later, I think it was quite some time after that. Jamie and I hadn't seen each other, and I started getting into swing dancing. He was into swing dancing. We both like grew our hair
Dude, we were
out,
on the classic late 90s skinhead retirement plan where we all decided we were rockabilly.
I never claimed to be rockabilly, bud.
Where are all the cute hardcore girls going? Well, you don't talk to them at hardcore shows anyways. So, they're going to go see Spring Hill Poppin' Daddy Face or whatever the bands were at the time. It's like, I'm going to go learn how to yay, I saw Swingers too. That also did not work.
It worked for me, bud. I mean, probably because you weren't around. There was times in Connecticut where this guy would like, we had to finally call a truce. If we were talking to a girl at a bar, we would pretend like we didn't know each other because it got so bad. Remember that? The only one date I got to go on in Connecticut. So bad,
dude. So Adam's first week living in Connecticut, he's up. He's living with us. He had just come up, basically, like, I'm not sure if it's okay to say this. He came up to escape some shit. And like part of that would have been either jail or a beatdown, and most likely jail because Adam doesn't run from a beatdown. And we're hanging out at the bar with all of the old heads, the old Connecticut heads, and these old skinhead kids and punk rock kids who are tough as fuck. And they know me, and they're like, yeah, he's the little guy. He's kind of tough, but he moved away to Florida, and now he's back, and he's and we're hanging out, and Adam and I are just sitting there, we're drinking, and I look at them, and they're not looking, so I punched Adam in the side of the head, just like little love tap, like whack, because we were drunk and
that's what we
dumb
do.
Shit we would do,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and nobody saw me jab him, and they're just hitting, and he just turns and looks at me, and he goes. And he open hand slaps me across the face super fucking hard. To which the entire bar just goes, what? And looks, because they think that I am now, they don't know Adam. So they think that now I'm going to beat the shit out of somebody. And they're like, okay, we're going to help. What do we do? And Adam and I just look at each other and we just go, ah! Start laughing.
Because they all look at him as like their little brother too.
Flash forward, and then we were at that bar. We helped lay carpet in that bar. We helped refinish that bar. Like that was our bar. Flash forward about a year. There's pictures of us on the wall. Asshole of the Month Club, banned from the bar. Too many fights. Adam got a brand new pocket knife, and he was like, "Mike, this pocket knife." He just kept doing this. Oh man. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's like butter. Watch this. And we're walking by this big Hummer for the local radio station that was doing a thing. Oh yeah, what you doing? And he walks over to the back tire and he just goes, whoosh, and it went. I mean, we all paused because it went in way too easy. And he goes, and you just hear, and you hear, what the fuck? And we turn, and the entire bar is standing on the veranda watching us do that. So we jump in my car. I'm in reverse with the door open. This was like a dramatic, Dukes of Hazzard type. And we're drunk. Flying out of the parking lot adjacent to Stephen Sully's pub with legitimately people grabbing at the car. Also, not the first time that we had to deal with people chasing us as we drove away. And we drive to our house where then we get ready because we know that people are going to come looking for us after that. Unfortunately, they didn't come looking for us. They came with a bill for $1,000 it was.
$600 for a tire. Yeah, it was $600.
Yeah, $600. Is that what it was?
We were I was like, one tire? What the fuck?
It was so fucking funny though.
That's totally worth it. When you did that, what were you thinking when you were just like, I'm just gonna fucking?
Okay, let me explain the full story. Jamie painting me in the worst light ever constantly.
Oh, also, we'd almost fought the radio DJs about 100 times over the previous 6 weeks for being douchebags to us.
So this night he was extra douchebaggy, and he he's like, I work at a radio station. I know everything about music, and he talks shit about fucking Hatebreed, and he's like, yeah, they're a fucking joke, this and that. They don't even know how to fucking play good music. And I was like, I started getting heated. So as we were leaving, the Hummer that I popped the tire on was the radio station's tire. So it wasn't just a random Hummer out front. It was a radio station. So looking back now, even as I'm saying this, of course everyone saw us. It was like a radio event. I went above and beyond for the situation. But that's what upset me. And there might have been a little bit of alcohol in me. And I might have been a little aggro that night. It just might have happened. Just might have.
Oh my God. It's fucking classic. It was classic.
But let me tell you something right now. I don't know if you could see this finger, how it's kind of retarded there. I could say the word retarded. That's when I went to close the knife as we were running towards the car, and I cut about a big chunk out of my finger. So I'm running away, bleeding everywhere. Remember that? Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, classic move. You know what I mean? I hurt myself more than somebody else can hurt me. That's a classic move. Are you playing with a knife right now?
Dude. Me? I was. Do you remember my favorite? People always ask, hey, what do you do for Cinco de Mayo? And I always say, nothing. When I was 22 years old, I peaked. Just Cinco de Mayo will never be as fun for me ever again. One of our cooks worked part-time at this fucking Mexican bar on the campus of University of Connecticut in Stores, about 45-minute drive from Hartford. So we went out and we called him, what did we call him? We had a nickname for him, like Little Boy or P-Boy, Junior. John Boy.
John Boy. That was his name.
whatever.
John Boy.
Anyway, so we went out to go see John Boy, who was normally a bar back, but that night he was working like the satellite bar because it was like one of those pay $10, cheap drink. And it was like a college scene. Tons of bouncers, tons of college kids. We were not much older than most of them. So we're there, we're walking around and drinking fucking free beers and margaritas. And we got overserved. Like, we got classically overserved. And
from our friend.
From our friend. And we got a little bit rowdy. And somebody peed into a beer cup and then was walking over to where everybody was kind of dancing and hanging out and put the beer cup on the floor where everybody was dancing. And then as everybody was like packing up, he went over and kicked it. So it went all over everybody.
Yeah.
Why did you do that?
I didn't do that. That was a classic, hey, check this out from Jamie Bissonnette.
Yeah, that was me. Yeah. But like
Jamie would often say, hey, check this out.
Check this out. And then I jump spin, kicked out the plate glass window to the suit store across from the Pig's Eye Pub. No. But before that, 10 minutes before that, we're in the bathroom and there's these like nerdy college kids, but they're like, think they're tough. I didn't say shit. I was peeing.
Yes, you did.
And
you
I
said,
stepped
check
because I had a
this
Prince
out.
Albert. No, that was before that.
Yes, you did.
So I walk in and I take my Prince Albert. I had stretched it to like 00. So I took the ring out. How 90s is that? We're talking about body piercing engaged rings, right? And I turn it sideways and squeeze it, and I could pee in 2 simultaneous streams. Where is this podcast going to live?
I don't know. But let me back the story up. Let me back the story up a little bit.
So I'm going into 2 urinals. I'm going into 2 urinals, and I'm like, watch this. So Adam, who's peeing in one of the urinals, goes, yeah, watch this. And he turns and just starts peeing on the kid next to him. So we come out, and he's all pissed off, and he's like telling people to fuck with us, and he's like pointing, and the bouncers. So that's when the cup of piss got kicked. It was like we knew we were getting kicked out.
No, you're lying. I'm calling a lie. I'm calling a lie right now.
It's not lying if I don't remember. That's how I remember it, pal.
Okay. All right. Let's rewind this a little bit. We walk into the bathroom. It's packed, right? I go, you know what's great about being me, Jamie? And you said what? I said, I get to pee wherever I want to fucking So I start peeing on this kid's leg until he fucking gets out of the stall so I can finish peeing, The kid runs out. I'm over washing my hands. Jamie says, you know what's so cool about being me? In 2 urinals at one time. This is the same time that the bouncers walk into the bathroom. So all they see is me and Jamie peeing into 2 urinals at one time. And the guy just goes, yeah, we don't have any problems, and shut the door. Until we came outside the bathroom.
And then we got out, and they were like, you could see they were like getting ready to like kick us out or jump us or something. Mm-hmm. And that's when the cup of piss went down on the floor. Yeah. That's right. And then we kicked the cup of piss.
That's why we had to run out of there. Yes.
Running out to our car. And as we're running, there's a convertible MG 2 spots away from mine with the convertible down. And like, we're running, getting chased by some monsterly big college. We could have
monster football player and bouncers. They were huge.
We probably could have like done all right, but we were all like, and like Tony, our other friend, is big, but he couldn't fight for shit. So we're like, oh, we gotta go. So we're running, and Adam's like, and he cannonballs into the convertible. Fucking coolest thing I've seen in a long time. I'll never forget that. But it slowed us down enough that was on reversing, and he's getting in the car. They're almost ripping the door off of my car.
As I'm running up to the car, I'm like, I'm going to take this car. And I jump from the back of the car into the car itself. And then I got stuck in this bitch for a minute.
That's right. You were like,
Jamie's like, come on, dude. And I'm like, I can't get out of the car. Oh, so bad. Oh, and I remember them holding the door and me laughing at him like, oh, gosh. You want to talk about the night you got shot in the face?
It wasn't a real gun, but I didn't know that. We're driving around Hartford doing what we do, being townies, and we're at a stoplight. Actually, this one is kind of like, this wasn't really our fault.
No,
we're at a stoplight, and this car comes cutting around to get to the highway, And we're just like normal. Windows are down. We're hanging out, listening to our music. And all of a sudden, something hits me right here in the side of the head. And my glasses fill up with pink. And Adam in the front seat is like, holy shit. Chef just got shot in the face. Because you could hear the sound of a gun. And you watched my face snap. And I just went.
And you could feel the shrapnel from it come off him.
You could feel like the plastic. I got shot with a paintball.
Oh,
pink paintball. And the guy's doing it, and they're like going, and I'm a pretty reckless driver, and that car was souped up. I put it in, it was a stick. I put it in, I just fucking gunned it, whipped it around, got on the highway, and we were on their ass within like 2 minutes. Driving there, and they're driving really fast because Tony reaches out the window with a real gun and shoots, does he shoot it like once or twice or something like that?
Yeah.
To like,
he used to call him his uncle.
And so they're like, oh shit, we're a bunch of fucking high school kids that just shot somebody with a paintball and now they've got a real gun. And we're flying from Hartford. We get all the way into New Britain on Route 40 on 84. And they get off and we're like going around a corner. And I've never driven this fast before. I could feel the car, all 4 tires skipping as we went around that corner. And you were like, slow down, we're going to die. We got off and they lost us in the neighborhood. Probably for the better. Like we'd probably be in jail if that hadn't happened. But oh my God.
Wow. Yikes.
Allegedly. All of that's allegedly.
Allegedly these things happen. Allegedly all these things had happened.
But now I do yoga and meditate and cook food for a living and talk about work-life balance and have 2 dogs.
And Adam goes to church.
And I go to church. How weird is that? I don't
drink. The fact that you've gone in there and you didn't immediately catch on fire was a miracle.
I know. They're real. Miracles are real, my friend. It's funny when I have some friends that know me from back in that day, Jamie, and they've come to my church because they're like, if you can go to church and be accepted, I think anyone can. So they like literally come there to see what the church is about. It's pretty funny. And I'm always like,
that's sweet.
Because
nice.
the people at church don't know me. Like we were talking before, they only know this Adam. They know the tattoo Adam. The guy doesn't drink. The guy's really nice, soft spoken to people for the most part. And then, some of the old school people show up and they're like, just like in awe, like, I cannot believe this is you now. And I'm like, hey, everybody grows up eventually, right? Or they die.
Yeah, everybody. We know season 1 Sons of Anarchy Adam, and they know season 5 Sons of Anarchy Adam.
Oh, shit. Well, I'm glad we're still alive. And I'm glad we can still talk to each other and laugh about those days. Yeah. And what would you tell that kid if you had a chance to go back in time? What would you tell that kid?
Tell me?
Yeah.
Be more patient. Slow down and breathe more and eat more fiber. What would you tell him?
Guys? What would I tell that kid back then? That life is too short to be so angry.
Yeah. I don't know, but I'm like also stuck in that thing of like the butterfly effect and change. And like, if I went back and changed anything about who I was, like, who would I be today? And like, would I be worse kind of thing? Like, so part of me is, maybe I'd go back and I wouldn't tell myself to change. I'd just tell myself to say, hey, just be patient. Things are going to work out. You're not going to always be so alone, Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Geronimo, would you tell anything to your younger self?
I was never like you. I was never that freaking crazy like you guys. I don't know. I would have to think about that. That's a deep question. I don't know what I'd tell myself.
I was always so jealous of you, Geronimo, like hanging out at your house and you're like showing me your portfolio of all your art and your drawings. And I was always so in awe of that talent because I can't draw at all.
Yeah. Oh. I would tell myself to continue doing art. Cause I've let that go quite a bit for a while. I'd probably tell myself to like, dude, just keep going. The problem is I would get so frustrated with myself because I wasn't, I would practice all the time and I would never get to the level that I wanted to be at. You know what I mean? So I'd get so frustrated with myself and be like, I can't. It's like, what's my deal? I can't get better. You know? And of course, I'd look at all these other artists. I'd be like, man, I'd be like, these guys are so good. But the thing is, they never stopped. You know what I mean? Whereas opposed, like, my own fear will stop. You know. But yeah, I tell myself, dude, just keep drawing, keep doing art. You know, no matter what.
Do you do art now at all?
I did. It's been about a year since I've actually done anything artistically, which is weird for me. But I was doing a character design for video game characters. I was designing characters in video games. Yeah,
That's
but
cool.
I think I got really burnt on that. I got really burnt on like trying to get better and like practicing, where it became like not fun anymore. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I stopped I had to stop because of that. Hopefully I'll get back to it soon.
I hope so too.
Jolie, do you
That's
have
the cool
anything you would
thing
tell
you-
your younger self?
Do I? Yeah, what would I tell my younger self? Keep writing, probably, because I stopped for a long time and then I just started recently again. So I don't know where I would be with writing if I hadn't stopped doing that. So that's probably what I would say. Yeah.
Jamie, you still love cooking, right?
Dude, I'm so fucking lucky that my passion is my career. Like I couldn't be any more lucky. Like, you know, I jokingly, like, we talked a lot about all those dumb like shit we did, but do you remember we used to have like proper dinners? Like we would cook at home and eat real food, and like food is like to me the most important thing. It brings people together. Yeah, I love it. I love what I do.
Yeah, that's one thing that
it's awesome.
Would always excite Larry and I when you would come down, or even when I would have a chance to just sit in your kitchen, like when you'd be like, "Oh, let's go here, let's go there," and I'd be like, "I just want to eat your food, bro," because I was so spoiled back then. Even back then, you were like so much better than any food I ever could imagine. You've only gotten better, you know. And like I think the last time like I ate at one of your restaurants, your question has been, "What are you not eating now?" You know, and yeah, you even got me to eat some heart, which I still am not happy about. But it's one thing that your food, you can literally taste the love that is in you that you put into your food, even when you're making scrambled eggs and cheese at home. That breakfast in your apartment up in Boston, I wish I would have paid attention to how you were cooking that. And for you, it was probably so booty. You know what I mean? And like, I still talk about that to this day when I make breakfast for anybody. I'm like, my friend Jamie made this fucking breakfast one time. I still don't know how he did it. It was simple, just simple eggs, but they were so good, man.
And there was no cheese in them either. They were just soft scrambled.
There was no
and that cheesiness was just from them. No cheese. Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
Great.
Do you remember when living with Damien and like we'd have bands come stay with us, like Earth Crisis stayed with us a bunch, and like, oh, we should make food for them. And like Edwin and I would go through the couch in our cars and like we'd collect $2.15 and go to like Winn-Dixie for some things and Publix for the other because we knew which ones were cheaper. And I would make like a fucking meal out of cauliflower, lentils, and a bunch of spices and feed 8 to 10 people. Like it was the best. Like that's the shit, man. Cooking food for other people, I mean, is just like the shit. It's the shit.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, you're so amazing at it too, man. It's I think everybody here has found something that they truly love. We just got to keep pushing after it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like there's never a day that I wake up and I'm like, fuck, I got a tattoo today. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things around that tattoo shop that I don't like, but when it comes down to doing what we get to do, it's like, it's awesome. Like these two are like, I mean, constantly writing.
If I could get paid to smoke weed and hang out with my wife and my dogs, that would be great. But that's not paid. Doesn't pay the bills.
True. But would you be happy though? Completely happy? I think we all need a purpose.
I'd still have to be cooking. Yeah. That was the hardest part for me during the pandemic when I got the most depressed I've ever been. And I really had a reckoning with my life. And like, I needed a change was that I didn't, without having restaurants and without cooking, I felt like I had no purpose. And my self-worth just went down the tubes. And, combine that with there wasn't anything else to do, nowhere to go. And we had just been married. So what did we do is we sat around and we, for the first couple of months, we didn't do anything. We just sat around and cooked and ate. And then after that, we were like, oh, maybe we'll have a couple of drinks. And we started drinking at home. And after like a month of that, we were like, oh, we can't do this anymore. And I went into like the most severe depressive funk until things started to normalize and I could get back into restaurants and, walk around the restaurant and just talk to guests and drop off food and like tell a cook how to do something better, or make, a dishwasher coming up saying, hey chef, I'm hungry. Can I have something to eat? And putting effort into making them a better meal than we've made anybody else for the whole night. Like I missed all of those little moments so much. And yet it all stems back to like doing what makes you happy. If I don't cook for a couple of days, I really do get depressed. Yeah.
Great.
What are you guys doing for music these days? Are you guys still playing?
Yeah, actually, we released a second album
few years ago.
Few years ago, like 2023.
Yeah.
22.
It's been a few years now.
Yeah, so we're working on the new album. We're working on a new album now. We're working in the demo phase of writing new stuff. And this isn't Rockin' Earth Wind anymore. This is another band that me and Jolie and
what's the new band called?
It's called The Darling Fire.
Cool.
And we're on a record label. I guess he wouldn't call it. It's called Iodine Records.
Yeah.
They were in the Boston area. That's where they started back in the 90s and stuff. But yeah, so writing stuff, hopefully release something soon, or the next year, hopefully. We'll see what happens. Yeah. So
Geronimo's singing in this one, by the way.
Yeah.
If you guys traded spaces or traded fucking art.
Trading places.
Yeah. No.
Trading places.
It's hard right now because we don't have a drummer or bass player. So we got to like figure that out before we get in the studio or anything like that. So
doing a little Ray and Porcel action with a drum machine.
We have dabbled with a little bit of electronic stuff because of not having a bass player or a drummer.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's kind of cool because it forces you to like explore other things, So, and it's a lot less of a hassle when it's just three people.
A lot of personalities.
You have to talk them into becoming a Scientologist. That's gonna be rough.
Yeah.
That's hysterical.
Yeah, it's tough.
I love
being in a band is difficult, man. Being in a band is hard. It's kind of nice.
I don't think being in a band is hard. I think having bandmates is hard.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because they're like the family you choose to be around, and if it's not like you're born into a family, and sometimes that family sucks, and so you kind of hope that your band becomes your next family, and so it's hard because everybody has different personalities, different agendas, different, you know what I mean? Especially now when we're a little older, it's like we're not in our 20s where we don't have bills. We have bills now, and everybody needs to make a certain amount of money, putting in the effort, traveling and all that stuff. So you got to make all that stuff work. So, it's finding the right people in the right time of their life that can, kind of give a little the more than they can take, you know what I mean? So it's difficult at this age to do that.
100%. 100%.
Especially if they got kids and stuff like that. It's like they can't be traveling. And at this point in my life, it's like we don't want to tour nonstop. You know what I mean? Like we want to play occasionally, but I don't see myself touring for like 6 months out of the year and sleeping on people's floors, at 49 years old. This is not going to happen.
It doesn't make sense, right? Yeah.
It makes no sense now because the whole record industry, everything's changed now since, before, you don't make any money off your music, really. You only make money off your merch and the shows you play. Record sales are kind of pointless now. Nobody really buys music anymore. So
I do. I have a record bar. We buy all the vinyl we can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, totally.
That's awesome. If you're selling vinyl, but even our vinyl though, we don't even get a cut of that.
Yeah.
Really?
We don't get a cut of our vinyl. Yeah. No. Because it's not everything.
Split after profit.
after, but you got to pay back the label, whatever the label puts into you, advertising, all that stuff, the pressing of the record, artwork, all that stuff's got to be paid off before you see a profit.
Yeah.
It's
So
like-
I don't even
it's like
count on
cookbooks.
I don't even count on vinyl making profit. That's just something for people to have.
Yeah, but it's fun to have though.
Oh yeah, it's definitely cool to see
Yeah, it
your
sounds
music
better.
on a record.
Yeah.
But
So how do
yeah.
you make music? How do you make money in the music world now? You just have to have that streaming hit, and you have to have
you got to spot, if people,
Spotify lists,
Spotify lists, they're like curated lists that Spotify puts out on their own, then you get a lot of people exposed to your music, and you just got to get a lot of streams to make a decent amount of money, because I think you make like what, 0. Like
a fraction of a penny,
a fraction of a penny off of stream,
Yeah.
So the only real way to make money is basically selling merch and touring, because
playing shows,
playing live shows. So that's it. Pretty much. It's the only way to make money.
Yeah, I would stick with a drum machine for sure then. Just show up with like, boop. All right, there we go. There's a drummer.
Yeah. I mean, we definitely like to get a
drummers are
drummer to
overrated.
play shows. So I think we might just hire people to do that stuff. Have like a session drummer, or, somebody that come pay somebody.
Well, that's
in,
like
but,
that's what John Paul Jones and like a lot of the guys from Led Zeppelin did back in the day. They were all session guys, and they made so much money doing that Led Zeppelin was like actually a passion project, right? And that's why it became so successful, because they could tell everybody to fuck off. And then here they are creating one of the best musical groups of our time.
Yeah. I mean, it feels good to have just having Jolie and I and our friend Mike, the guitar player, because we're all kind of like one person. Like we've known Mike for a long time, and it feels good with him, to do it. And but adding more people in might be just too much of a pain in the ass to do, because then they want, we I don't know, we're kind of music Nazis when it comes out. It's like we want the
No, but we do like a different perspective though from other musicians.
Yeah,
kind of.
You like it, but you're not going to accept it, right? Yeah,
no,
that's great. You gotta go fuck yourself.
The thing is, that's the thing. It's like you have to be the right fit. You know what I mean? Like you have to it has to gel. And I always tell people, like people that are coming into a band or whatever, it's like, I don't care if you're not that good, but your passion needs to be there, and you got to be just a cool guy to begin with. You just I need to want to be around you. That's the most important thing.
It's all about setting out expectations and having that good communication. It's like something that you don't realize when you're younger. Like you're younger, you feel like, what do you mean you don't want to make that soup the same way? What do you mean you don't want to play that bass note the way I think it should be played? And as you get older, like as a restaurant owner and a chef, I've got sous chefs and creatives that work under me, but they have their own creative outlet. And it's setting those expectations and communicating and saying, hey, listen, you can do whatever you want as long as whatever you want falls underneath this idea that I have of what we are,
Right.
And like to your point,
that's what
for
I
me,
mean,
hiring.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, like, to your point, that's why you've got to hire culturally, not talent-wise, right? You don't want to hire the best bassist in the world if they're a complete dickwad, and for me, I always say I can't have teams and in management especially, and I don't want to work the line with people that I can't have a conversation with outside of work, like at least a civil one. You get talented people that can come in and they can cook with you and do out some great food, but then they're just not nice to be around, or they're not pleasant. And culture matters so much in everything that we do. We look at how we were as kids. We surrounded ourselves by like-minded psychopaths and weirdos. And as we're older, it's harder to do that, because as you grow, you become more mature, and that like-mindedness becomes harder to navigate because of so many different things. But when you distill it down, I think to me, the most successful, you can be in any field that involves being creative is to surround yourself with people that keep you motivated, that don't drag you down. And if you don't like someone, it's going to drag you down.
Right. Exactly. I mean, that's the thing. It's like, it's not that I'm being, uppity or anything like that. It's like, first and foremost, it's got to be like family. It's got to be, you know what I mean? Like outside of the band, we just have to get along, and we have to have like the same idea of where we're taking this project. You know what I mean? We're all putting a lot of time into it. We're putting money into it. It's, have to have the same goals. And if we don't have that, then, it's just not going to work.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't work and you find those people to be really like offensive to you, then you could tell Adam that they owe you $150, and apparently I find him and beat him up in an alley.
Full
so
circle.
make sure those people are in the general Boston area. If you could do that too, that'd be great. I appreciate
So
it.
anybody watching right now, if you owe Jolie or Geronimo any money, you best pay up.
If you see that face coming, you better run, okay, or
man.
pay up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you want to plug yourself on
I-
anything or anything like that, Jamie? You got the yeah, me too, buddy. Do you want to
no,
plug
man, I
anything?
was
Your
really happy
restaurants or
to-
anything?
If you're ever in Boston, come check out. I've got a bunch of restaurants: Temple Records, Sushi at Temple Records, Somek, Zorito, and I'm about 2 weeks from finishing up construction on a new restaurant that'll open in March called Willie's Pizza and Pasta.
No way.
No, it's not
Italian
called
joint.
Willie's Pizza and Pasta, but it's called Willie's, and it's gonna be like Italian based, like I've done in the past, but a little bit more funky and neighborhoody, casual. Pizza
So
oven
how
got
many
installed
restaurants do you-
today.
So how many restaurants do you have?
That'll be 5.
I want to thank you so much for coming onto this podcast. I know we'll probably have to chop out a bunch of this stuff. I can't tell you enough how much I love you and how much I appreciate you, and I'm just so proud of you, buddy. I really am.
Back at you, man. Thank you guys all for having
Yeah.
me on. It's been too long since I've seen all of you, and
Dude.
I hope that changes soon, man. It's been fun.
All right. Well,
Adam, there's one thing
Yeah.
I did.
if you
wanna
say I'm
talk
going to
about
hang up
before.
on you, if you hang up right now, I'm going to be so mad at you.
Okay, I won't do it. I was going to say, guess what? Click.
I know you were going to say it.
Oh.
That's exactly what I
you
was
know
going to
what's
do. It's exactly.
I know.
I call
tell people-
Jose sometimes. I'm like, yo. He's like, yo. I'm like, guess what? He's like, what? And I just hang up on him. It's my
Oh,
He
favorite.
would
boy.
get me all the time with that shit. I literally tell people part of the story I tell about Jamie Bissonnette. I was like, yeah, my friend's so awesome that he'll just fucking hang up on you without saying goodbye every now and then. Fucking jerk. All right, let's close this out. We want to thank you again for coming to Anchors and Eagles and listening or watching. This is Miles. He's going to take up the whole screen. There we go. I'm Adam Facenda.
I'm Jeronimo Gomez.
And my name is Jamie Bissonnette.
And we also cannot forget our great producer.
I'm Jelly.
Thanks for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, and watch me squeeze my dog's head. Thanks again, guys. All right, that's it.
I just want to say, hey, Jamie, longtime listener, first time caller. Thanks for having me.